I just say my name.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at the converse of Pythagorean theorem. And you need to remember from yesterday our new vocab words: Pythagorean triple, Pythagorean theorem, and remember some old ones too in order to use those: hypotenuse, leg of a right triangle, and right triangle. Our 5 new vocab words are up on the board. They don't have their picture or definition yet, but they will have one too. We are learning 3 new ones today. Converse of the Pythagorean theorem. It sounds really fancy. All it means is if we are given 3 sides, and when I put them in, I go a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Yep. By converse of Pythagorean theorem. If that works, if a squared plus b squared equals c squared, it's a right triangle. Okay. Next, we've got if it's acute. Theorem 7.3. How do we know if it's a acute triangle? We've got a squared plus b squared is greater than c squared. That means it's acute. And then we've got obtuse. If a squared plus b squared is less than c squared, then it's obtuse. And I wrote them again up here on the board so we can look at them while we do all of our problems. Okay? They're really important. I have a hard time. I get the acute and obtuse mixed up. So I have to write it at the top of my paper when I do stuff. You should be writing this down. You should have a pen or pencil. Writing down what we're doing. Okay, let's go ahead and look at some of our problems here.
Can you tell me what that one says? Bottom. Yeah.
A squared plus b squared is less than c squared. It's the same thing that's written right here. I think that's a little easier. All right, let's look at A. We're going to determine if the triangle is right, or if it's obtuse, or if it's acute. Okay, so we've got 10, 8, and 7. What has to be the hypotenuse? 10. So I always like to put a little c next to where my hypotenuse is, so I remember. Okay, because it's the hypotenuse has to be the biggest one. We don't see a right angle here. That's a good point. In the last ones we did yesterday, we always knew which one was the hypotenuse because it was across from the right angle. This one, we don't know if it's a right triangle or not yet. So we have to look for the biggest number. That has to be my hypotenuse. Okay. So I have to go 8 squared plus 7 squared, and I'm going to leave it blank because I don't know what it does with c squared, which is 10. Okay. 8 squared is 64. 7 squared is 49. And I know 10 squared is 100. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Carry the 1. Okay. So which one is bigger, 113 or 100?
113.
Okay. So let's look. Here's my C. Which one has the alligator not eating the C?
Say what?
So your greater than or less than sign is the alligator, right? It's not eating the C, right? It's eating the other one.
Pretty sure it's greater.
So since it's not eating the C, I look for the one where it's not eating the C. So it's this one. So it is acute. Acute.
Oh, you have to say it was.
Okay. Let's look. I'm going to skip B and I'm going to go to C. Can somebody raise their hand and tell me which one's the hypotenuse? Which one's C?
12.
Raise your hand. Which one is C? Yes, Aaron. It is 12. Okay. So now I'm going to put it in the formula, a squared plus b squared and c squared. But I'm not going to have an equal sign or anything in there because I've got to figure out what it is. 4 squared plus 11 squared. And then I'm going to leave it blank, c squared. And this is where it would be great if Miss Murphy had a calculator on her. Mr. Van Horst, there's one in the box behind you, I believe. Could you grab me any of those? Thank you, sir. So we've got 4 squared plus 11 squared gives me 137. And 12 squared is 144. So the alligator is eating the C. Which one does the alligator eat the C? Obtuse. This make sense? Want to try one more?
Yes.
Which one do you want to do? D, E, F, or B? B. I'm not talking down to you. The little alligator thing, I know it sounds really stupid in elementary school, but it's the only way I remember it. So it's not talking down to you. It's all for me. Okay, let's do E. It does have decimals. That's okay. Which one is the hypotenuse? Please raise your hand if you tell me which is the hypotenuse. Tracy. 17.4. And how did you know, Tracy? It's the biggest side, yes. So we've got 10 squared plus 14.2 squared. We don't know what it is. 17.4 squared. Okay, let's put it in the calculator. 10 squared plus 14.2 squared gives us 301.64. And 17 squared gives us 17.4, excuse me. Squared gives us 302.76. So which one's bigger? 301.64 or 302.76? And the less than sign, it's pointed less than towards a squared and b squared, so it is obtuse. That's all for you, Mike. Okay. Do we feel good about the front? Let's turn it over. The back is very similar, except it has numbers. I just want to be clear about this, that I'm not interrupting class right now to deal with this other than to say, I see you looking at your cell phones. I don't care if you're at the back of the room. I see it. Stop doing it. Okay.
You mean Austin just read it? I'm trying to point more out.
Okay.
Let's
Look at the ones on the back. They're exactly the same except there's not a picture. But they're still silent. They're still silent. Oh, did I say not numbers?
Yeah.
Not what I meant. I'm sorry, guys. That's one small outfit. All right. Let's look at just A. We've got 23. We've got 44. And say it louder, Eric. Which one's C?
70 is C.
70 is C. So I know I've got 23 squared plus 44 squared. And I'm trying to figure out what 70 squared is. Remember, the calculators are in the back of the room. I left it unlocked so you can get it when you walk in. 23 squared plus 44 squared gives us 2,465. And we've got 70 squared, and we have 4,900. So C is greater than A squared and B squared, so it is obtuse. That's what I really mean. Okay. Do we want to do another one of these?
Did you say greater than?
No.
Yeah. C is greater than A squared plus B squared. A squared plus B squared is smaller than C. D or E?
Yeah.
Okay. How about we do, let's do D. Okay. We'll do D. If you get it, we will. If you don't get it, we'll also do E. Okay. So D says 5 square root 56 and 9. Okay, so my first question is, how do you know which one's bigger?
I guess 56.
This is why you get a handy dandy calculator. You find the square root of 56. And it's approximately 7.4, so you do know that 9 is the biggest. So 9 is the biggest. Thank you. So I have 5 squared plus the square root of 56 squared, and I'm seeing what it does with 9 squared. Okay? What's 5 times 5? 25. Here's my question in case you don't want to punch this in your calculator. What's the square root of 56 squared?
7.48. 56.
And we've got 81. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 5, 6, 7, 8. 81 equals 81, so what kind of triangle is this? Right. You guys feel okay with this? Do you want to do E as well, or you're good?
No, bro, but
You're good? Just like this?
Is this
Which
what
one?
homework's gonna look like?
E? Okay, I'll do E. So I've got 1, 2, square root 3. It should look very close. Okay. So which one's bigger? What's the biggest one? 2 is the biggest one? 1 squared plus the square root of 3 squared equals 2 squared. Well, we don't know if it equals or not. We don't know. Okay. So we get 1 plus 3 and 4. So 4 equals 4. So it is what kind of triangle? Great. All right. Do you want to do the story problem?
No.
I know you never want to do story problems.
Well, there's
Let's
just
do the
three
story
numbers.
problem because I'm actually doing the same stuff in my house
Right now.
right now.
Why?
Because he's redoing his kitchen.
So you have to do this.
He does.
See,
Okay. So a carpenter often makes sure a corner is square, and when they say square, it means 90 degrees, by marking a 3-unit mark on one wall and a 4-unit mark on the other wall. And then they check to see if the distance is 50 units. Because it's impossible. I can't get a protractor in that corner to check that it's 90 degrees. Okay? It's not possible. So what we're going to do is we have one wall and we mark off so that it's 3 long. We have another wall, we mark off that it's 4 long. And then we measure the distance from those 2 points, and it's 5. Do I know that's a 90-degree triangle? How do I know? Because what is that thing we learned yesterday? It is a Pythagorean triple. 3 squared plus 4 squared does equal 5 squared. I don't even have to go through and prove it because we know that's a Pythagorean triple. Miss Murphy can't spell Pythagorean. We'll just pretend that's right.
Why is it a...
Pythagorean triple is 3, 4, 5. Remember we talked about it yesterday. It was at the end of our notes. So anything that is a multiple or factor of 3, 4, 5 is considered a triple.
It's 4, 3, 5.
As long as the 5 is on the other side of the equal sign, you're good. 3 and 4 can be switched.
All right, come.
Okay.
I got a right triangle.
Yeah. Right. Any unit.
I did the first
Okay.
one I got right. That one had